spiel.
Okay, hit start. Here we go.
Let's start the show.
All right, we are live. It's still doing the
Are we
connecting thing.
live?
There we go. Yep, now we're live. Okay. All right. We are live. Welcome to episode 5 of the Full Grown Pizza Podcast.
Oh, yes,
We are going to be talking about sound theory today. Mike is going to be taking over and telling us a bit about that to get us started off. Just kind of a quick update. We are going to be trying a little bit of a different format, but of a shorter format for this episode and maybe the episodes going forward to see how that feels. And so we can do some other stuff with the podcast as well. So,
Anybody else lose audio?
Yeah, I lost audio for a minute, but it's all right.
did you lose? You guys lost me? Hello?
Yeah.
What the? Okay.
Don't
All
worry,
right.
nobody saw.
Okay.
Nobody listened to you.
As long as you got it back. All right. Okay.
There's only
Mike,
one person watching right now.
kick us off and let's talk about sound theory.
All right, so sound theory. There is a lot of theories concerning how ancient people used to use sound, and the way they used to use it was a lot more um, efficient than us. They had, like, the way we use combustion is a lot how they use sound. They use it to change states of matter. Like, you can take sound and get the right frequency, you can change it from like a liquid to a solid, or a solid to a liquid. Like, you liquefy if you get the right frequency. Like, a lot of people say that the reason why Mexico City has such problems with earthquakes is because they hit that frequency and the land just liquefies around it. So
Really?
anyway,
Like, what
just
is
said
that?
the
Wait,
ancient people were much better at using sound than we are. So
what does that mean?
one of the main things they
Right.
used it was to transport heavy objects. Are you talking, Tyson? Because I can't hear you.
What? 1 second.
Yeah, I lost Tyson. So anyway, so they said that they had a liquid that they sprayed on the stones, on the top of the stones. They had a device which would emit a sound that was either ultra low frequency or high frequency, because nobody could hear anything. But once they activated the device, it actually levitate the stone. And that's how they used sound to transport the stones of the pyramids. And they say that the reason that they built them,
Check.
take the sound or the frequency of the earth and transform that into electricity.
Do you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Not
Have
sure
you
what
heard,
was going on
you
there.
hearing me okay?
Yeah, I hear you okay. Just my mic somehow got disconnected.
So anything about that theory about they use the frequency of the earth to change that into electricity? That was the main
So they did it to, like, what was the purpose? To, like, save power, or to, like, use it as
to
energy or
generate
something?
power.
Yeah, to generate power.
I feel that the obelisk would actually like the transformers.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
pyramid would generate the power, and then it would transfer out through the obelisk, and that would power the temples and everything around Egypt.
Huh. That's kind of crazy. And so then,
That's why they're made out of a certain material, because it transports the thing better. It's almost kind of like a Tesla, how he had that theory that he could do transfer of energy without using wires. You heard about that?
yeah, I think my question about that is, like, how did they project the sound? Like, you're gonna probably need a lot of amplitude to have that large of an effect, right?
It's all about how they built it and what it was made out of. I think
Okay,
it's
so
mostly a
it like,
granite or a granite derivative, and it has some kind of crystal structure into it. I
and
mean, we
it's
don't
like,
understand it these days, but they understood back then. Have you ever seen that picture on the pyramid wall? It shows like a big light bulb.
I don't think I've seen that one.
They call it a tower, but it actually looks like a big light bulb. Tori, can you see you can find that?
My name's Otto. It's Barter. Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Sorry.
Okay, light bulb on a
light
pyramid.
bulb.
But one of the strange things about the pyramids, they got all those tunnels, and there's no
I
signs
can't
of
believe you
smoke
never actually
or,
seen this picture.
you know.
Tyson.
I mean, I don't think so.
You got it, Tori?
Not based off your description.
Yeah, give me a second.
Bring it up.
Hold on. There's a lot of stuff to go through real quick. It's a process.
Okay, so tell us more about the.
There it
Let's see, look
is.
at this.
Oh.
I like the
Hold on a
transistor
second.
here, right? The little
That
guy
kind of looks like an
Oh.
eggplant emoji. It's an ancient
That's
eggplant
what it
emoji.
looks like. It looks like to me
Does
like this
they
guy.
say they
He's
call it
sending
an
dick pics
eggplant
to
or
people.
a lotus flower, but it looks like a big light bulb.
Ancient
Yeah.
dick pics. He did a
Yeah.
hieroglyph of his. There's like a snake inside of it. Do you see that? Like, what is
It's
that?
graffiti.
It's so big it can sit on my servant's head. That's
It's
how
too big for
it
the
is.
for the camera view.
You just go put it on servant's head and draw them on the wall.
He's like, put me in the hieroglyph and give me the biggest
Here.
dick they
But
ever
you know the
seen.
images, there's lots of different images in the queue. There's ones with like 3 or 4 people. They put it on 3 or 4 people's heads. I
Wow.
guess that's like the real big ones. So I guess
That's
the more
hilarious.
head you put it on, the bigger it was. So.
Don't forget my pulsating vein.
Yeah, it's the big
Make
vein
it look
throughout
like a
it.
snake.
he
Anyway,
had like he had like a
theory that they
nickname
had
for
was,
himself,
the
like the
pyramids are used
Viper
to
or
generate
something.
electricity. I do with the frequency of the earth. They're able to harness that to create electricity and power things like this light bulb. And they actually have pictures of like helicopters and stuff like that, but I don't know if we want to get that far into what they are powering.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
another thing that's interesting is that they can use the power of sound to seem to like change the state of matter. So if you want to bring up that Incan wall picture, Tori,
Which one's the Incan wall?
the Saskia human Incan wall. That's the first link I sent you.
Hey, Mike, do you have headphones
Is it
you can
this
use?
thing?
I can hear an echo
Oh
through
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, I know. It's this one.
I do have
Right?
it. But hang on a second.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you
Feels
have to say
better when
about
it's
that?
closer up.
Oh boy.
Just bring up the whole page. I want to pick a couple of them. The image page I gave you.
I'm doing it.
Worst page ever.
There you go.
All right, so you see this first one here? That first one on the very far left.
I'm going as fast as
That's not
JD.
so.
Fuck you.
Yeah, here we go.
Top left. This one? This
The
one?
first one.
The first one. Okay, so what about those?
If you look at it,
They're
it looks
melted.
like the stones are actually
Yeah.
molded into or softened up enough. See, look at that one in the very middle. Has like a little cut out to the upper right corner. Yeah, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so when you do the stones, you cut them when they're in the quarry. You don't cut them when you get to the site. So
Right.
it'd be easier to take it to the site and then liquefy it so it molds into the site. Some of them it looks like they're actually belted into place. Like the ones on the far left there. If you look at them, they here straight to the side of the
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
thing, and it's just a lot of people say that there's no signs of heat, but they look like they were melted into place. Like especially there on the top row, like the far right. See how they're just
Yeah, they all
craftsmanship,
perfectly
the
fit
way that
each
they're
other.
able to
Yeah.
get those to fit together.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I mean,
Do you think,
gotta
like-
consider these are multi-ton stones too, so
Right. So for the
you're
fact
not
that
gonna be able
they,
to flip it around and just cut it up a little bit and put it back into place.
so how would they have moved it? Because I mean, like, even if you look,
Probably the same way the Egyptians moved their stones. They probably had. I mean, this gets into a little bit of ancient alien theory, but maybe there was a way that they share technology with the aliens or uncommon source that had this stone technology. A lot of people say that Atlanteans had this sonic technology. Maybe they shared it with the Incans and the Egyptians, and they told them how to basically melt stone with a sound.
And then they
So, I mean,
had a
yeah, but how do
terrorist
they
that melted all their stone and they sunk into the ocean.
well, man, that is really interesting. But like, do we have any evidence of that, or is it just like this is what people think could have happened based on what we see? I mean,
This is a theory show, not an evidence show.
yeah, you got a point. You're like, hold on, you want to talk evidence now? Okay, hold on, we got a problem
That's a different
here.
show.
This isn't a science show.
I know, but I'm just posing the question. I'm not asking for like you to freaking get a PhD in Egyptology or whatever and tell me everything. I'm just saying. I'm just like, this is a question I would have based on everything.
I couldn't hear you. Say the question again.
I was just saying, like, does it seem like there's actual evidence of this, or is this just what people think is going on, or is this just
Talk
something?
about how they built the things. A lot of people say that these weren't even built by the Incans. They were built before the Incans got there, and the Incans just used them. See how you see up on the upper left corner there, Troy? Can you go back to the main picture? See how those smaller stones up there on the upper left corner? That looks like the Incans came along later and found the wall. They're like, hey, we'll use this wall. It's really well built, and it's earthquake proof. All these things are earthquake proof, which was crazy back then. So, and they're like, we can't do the same thing, so that we can put these little stones here and patch this up, And can you go down to the fortress picture, Tori? It shows the Inca fortress. It's a different picture. It's the lower left, like the far. Yeah, there you go. Can you zoom in on that one? And you can see how it looks like they softened the stone a lot better on that one. How all these are fit tightly together.
Ugh,
That's
horrible.
tiny. It's such a tiny fortress. Oh my god.
So
There you
tiny.
go.
What is this, a fortress for ants?
Yeah. No
These are
wonder.
horrible pictures.
Yeah, they're terrible.
But then you look at so this is a fortress. And you look at these, I guess they're called buttresses, but
How big
at the
these
very
stones
end,
are.
Those, wow, they're
so they would
huge.
split
Look at
the
that.
military the force that was coming up for either side, kind of like a wave. And this how the craftsmanship of doing that and getting the stones exactly right. That takes a lot of either engineering or they have to have some kind of tool to do that.
I love how you just flashed us with that guy's ancient
Yeah, the ancient dick pic.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. And yeah, they did some
There you
crazy
go.
stuff.
That's a good picture.
That's a better picture.
Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, because those pictures. Well, and then like even look at this other one. Look at the one on the far right. See how it kind of looks like it curves around the side of the fortress. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It like
Oh, you see that one with the
bends.
huge
Harsh
stone?
edges.
It's like a third one on the top from to the right, Tori.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's got a huge.
You can't zoom in
how much
anymore.
that stone weighs there. It's
Yeah.
got two big ones right there. You're just moving it and then having. So they gotta cut it exactly right to fit in those two stones and then put those in the right place. And none of this uses any mortar or anything. It's all earthquake proof. So
Okay, so we think that possibly they
This-
used like a certain frequency to like resonate with the rock to like make it
yeah.
softer
So,
or
if you
something
think
so they
about
can
it,
mold it and shape
frequency
it.
and rock or matter is just exciting the molecules. So you take water or ice, you excite the molecules, you heat it up. But if you use like a sonic tool and can transfer the energy to the molecules, you'll excite the molecules and make them change matter or change state.
Yeah.
So matter is all about the excitability of the molecules inside of it. So
Well, yeah, because that's like the
you
only
just change
differentiation
So,
between
what
how it.
outside of the stone
saying-
is semi like clay, and then it'll
that there's a
solidify it
certain
later on.
frequency that can
Yeah, it's all
change
about the
the
frequency, and then
composure
another
of
thing is like
rocks.
you don't have to do the whole rock. You just do pulses and just get the outside going.
Yeah, or if you don't have
So
enough
there's like a certain
amplitude.
frequency for rocks that can mold them into the way you want. So technically, in reality, there is actual rock music.
Whoa, rock music. This is the origin of rock music. Holy crap.
This is the origin of rock music.
Hey, who said we weren't going to make any breakthrough discoveries on this channel? Come on. Like, it's not just theory now, baby.
Very little on actual facts. So.
Yeah.
But nobody remembers it, so rock music is dead.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well,
now
we
I'm
got to bring
sad.
back this science.
And we'll
And
get into this later, but one of the things they could have used to use this sonic frequency is really known for their storing and transferring frequency is crystals. But crystals are not very durable, so maybe that's why we don't have any record of these tools being left over, because
hey,
maybe I use a certain
Tori, real
crystal at
quick,
a certain
I think you've
frequency.
got an echo coming through on your end. Because when I hear Mike
On my
talking,
end?
I see your voice. No, I think Tori's got a little bit of an echo coming through. Because when I see Mike talking, it shows a green border around Tori's thing. And I'm
Tori's got his
hearing
door
the
open.
echo.
Tori, shut your
Oh,
door.
yeah, that might be why. Might have to do with it. But yeah, that's what I was going to ask is like, okay, it's one thing if the frequencies can actually do that to the rocks, which I think they can because, yeah, every material object has its own resonant frequency. Like this is how you break glass with sound too. It's the same way. You resonate it so much that it shatters. But then, so the same thing could be true about rocks, I'm sure. But my question's like, okay, how do they produce that level of sound? And not only that, but how do they store this energy and store this power that they're trying to use and
Maybe
all
this is
that stuff?
crystal. Maybe there's certain crystals that store energy that we don't know about or we can't reproduce, and if they either act as an amplifier or targeting.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe they
focus
had
the
some kind
sound
of
like
amplifier, like
kind of
a
like on the I know you see the Dune where they use the handhold things and they focus the sound of the waves or the sound waves into a tight burst and it causes destruction. Kind of like that.
yeah. I could see something like that maybe. Okay.
I mean, we don't have any records of it, but I mean, like I
Right.
said, like if it's made of something fragile like a crystal, then maybe it did survive. I
Right.
mean, how much glass is going to survive 1,000 years from now? So
Yeah. No, I guess that's true. Yeah, it could have been something that gets broken easily or whatever when the people ran out of their
maybe they're very
area,
hard to make,
or
and so there's only so many of them. Like maybe that's why the priest had to do it.
that's possible too. Yeah. I could see something like that. And then okay. So they use that to like mold and shape things. How did they use it to like move stuff though? Like when we're talking about the
So
pyramids, like
the story was that they had some kind of substance that would either like act as like a like a buffer or something that would actually hold the sound underneath, so the sound wouldn't go through it, but the sound was so powerful that it actually lifted it. Does that make sense? So the sound would go through the stone, but it hit that liquid, and since it couldn't go through it, the
oh, I
force was
see.
so much that it actually lift the stone.
It was enough to move it to like go into it basically, but not like pass all the way through it. So
Yeah.
it basically moved.
That's why they had it. That's why when they spread the liquid, they spread it on top of the stone. Then they like aim it down to the ground where it bounced up and hit the stone, and then go up into the stone and hit the liquid or whatever that material was, and that would act as like a cleaving point, I guess. I don't know how you would describe
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Something that would capture the sound and take the force with the stone. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But that's just. I mean,
Man,
you
could
gotta
you
think about
imagine
this.
like modern
So
day
they're
if
saying that the pyramids were built like 3,000 years ago, but there's a lot more evidence saying that they were built about 12,000 years ago.
Hmm.
And so this is word of mouth from 12,000 years ago, and maybe like the Incans, since they were isolated, they passed it down, and it was just for a small group, like the priests would be maybe spread down a lot easier,
Yeah.
But that's one of the theories is that they use sound to move the stones.
Okay, so if you are Jimmy Bob or whatever back 12,000 years ago and you're kicking rocks, how do you discover this this technology? Like what did you
Like I said,
what did you
the
do to
Atlanteans
discover
would be
this,
the
you
ones
think?
that were spreading this around, so they figured it out, and they could have learned it from. Some people want to say ancient aliens, but I mean, you got to think these people are really heavily into stone. They did everything with stone. So if you're working with stone every day, and you notice like maybe I don't know, some certain sound makes a stone move, and you can replicate that sound and keep moving the stone.
I mean, I guess when you're out in the desert and it's 12,000 years ago and you got nothing else to do, really. You got a lot of
Yeah,
rocks
you
to
got
play
nothing else to
with,
do.
and
I mean, people seem to
I
think
mean,
like these people were like idiots, but they just sat around banging stones together and
well,
hunting animals, and that's all they did all day. But
yeah, I mean, like,
they figured out all kinds of things like astronomy and
right.
mathematics.
Yeah, like you've got people back then, like they're not stupid, they're not idiots. They have the same
Yeah,
curious
they're the same as
minds
us,
that we do.
basically.
I mean, we're the same species, right? So like
Yeah,
they're going to use what they have available to them and they're going to try and figure things out and they're going to be curious about things and they don't have a whole lot to be curious about besides well, rocks and sand and stuff and getting
and maybe
food.
I keep going back to Doom, but that's a good example that certain words had certain frequencies in them that
Mhm.
transfer well. Like maybe that's where the theory of or the uh, thing of magic words came from. You know, use the same certain words
Yeah.
and transform it to a crystal, and it just hit just the right frequency to make stones turn into clay or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could see that because I think like the whole idea of like cursing people is like that you have certain words and stuff that you're using in in a malevolent kind of way towards another
Yeah,
person, and I
yeah.
think
You're
that
using
has to
that.
do
You're
with
also
it.
using your frequency when you're
Yeah,
cursing that person to transfer it to that,
it's the
like energy
negative
to that person.
frequency and energy that you are transmitting from your brain and the words that you associate with it that are supposed to negatively impact other people. And
Yeah, you
so,
have a crystal that can amplify that. You'd say that word in that frequency at a certain person, maybe they blow up or something.
well,
You
and
know?
store it too, like we talked about, like in one of our
Yeah.
other episodes when we were talking about, gosh, I don't even know if we streamed this episode,
Those
but we
the
were talking
possession
about
one,
well, this was the 21st century
Auntie.
poltergeist. Remember when we were talking
Yeah.
about the one that was impacting
So
all the
like we say, like
electronic devices?
certain minerals store in
Yeah.
or amplify certain frequencies or
Well,
certain
right. And
energies.
if you have like a certain negative energy that is resonating, that is like being stored by this crystal and is resonating in an environment, now whenever there's negative energy that comes into the home, or that if you have a bad day and you go into the home and you're pissed off and your brain has all these negative energies and frequencies bouncing around in your brain, that is now going to resonate with whatever is storing this other negative energy,
Yeah, it's gonna
and then
store and
that
amplify.
that that resonance is going to amplify it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it could
and if
be
you actually find a way to release that with a crystal or some kind of material or a tool, then and you could direct that towards something. You know, who knows what you could do with it.
right. Well, and depending on how much you could store with a crystal, like what if you could spend like a long time, putting a whole bunch of frequency
Or you
into
get a whole
this
bunch of people together,
crystal,
like a
a whole
religious
bunch of people,
ceremony.
yeah, maybe a ritual or something. That's what I was thinking too. Like you've got a community like ritual where they're all
I mean, they say that's what the
singing
whole thing
and
about praying is that everybody's concentrating on the same thing and putting that energy toward the same thing, and that's why certain things happen.
right. And
And
so
that's where this comes from.
yeah, maybe there's some kind of ritual ceremony that we don't fully understand because these crystals have been destroyed or lost or broken or shattered or whatever. But maybe it was the whole idea of like, okay, the crystal is going to soak up this resonant frequency or energy, and then we found out that this resonant energy or frequency, whatever, impacts stone on a certain level,
Yeah,
and
you see a magic word and it turns into clay.
and then if it's like if you can hold the crystal and you can like put it up against the
That's why
stone,
everybody's got to chant the same word over and over again, get it in the crystal, you get that frequency, and then you can
yeah,
transfer that frequency to a material.
right. I don't think that's
It all checks out to me. So.
completely. Yeah, I don't know if that's completely out of the question, but like I
I
think
don't
that
think it
sounds
is. I
reasonable.
mean, if
Hmm.
so, we don't really consider sound to be that much, that big a deal. I mean,
Yeah.
you get a good song, it makes you feel good, or you get a sad song, it makes you feel bad. But that's
Yeah.
not all we use sound for. But if you can use it for they use it for riot suppression stuff like that now.
Yeah.
There's other things. I think you can use it like high frequency weapons.
Yeah, I've actually heard that there's like sound cannon technology and like because well they were proposing that I think this was actually a while ago. I was learning about this when I was in college, but they've got these sound cannons that are the reason why they're developing them is well you don't need to create ammunition to use them.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to use them and you can be direct and effective with it and it's highly destructive. Like basically it's a this giant speaker that's like a really loud, really abrupt pulse of like sound energy at a really high amplitude with really low frequency that can
Yeah.
rumble and like destroy buildings and destroy things because of such a low
And other things, if you
frequency.
get it at the right frequency, it can have mental effects on people.
Hmm.
Like you heard about the Havana syndrome, where they said that there was a fan that had a loose screw in it. It was turning at a certain frequency and started making people sick. That's just
Mm.
one theory about what caused the Havana syndrome. I don't think they actually found the real cause, but
Yeah, I mean, there's
and
a
then there's
whole.
like Tori, can you bring up the house Sephony hypogeum? It's house Sephony.
Yeah, there's like a
So this
whole
is a
theory.
temple they found in Malta, and it has a chamber in it that I guess you probably know more about that. But when they speak, it represent or it reverberates at
Reverberates.
110
Yeah.
hertz.
Yeah.
So the echo actually causes everything to go to 110 hertz,
Hmm.
and that actually has psychological effects on people inside the chamber. So it actually makes them feel like there's a presence or that they're closer to God. So
Hmm.
it has a lot of um, religious
Yeah.
implications.
Well, and
And this
like
also brings to another thing that have you guys ever heard of the God helmet?
the God helmet. It
God
sounds
helmet?
kind of familiar,
No.
but I don't
So there's
know.
this helmet they developed that has magnets in it, and I think they did another one where they use the frequency of the 110 hertz to do the same thing, but it has magnets and they focus on the brain
Hmm.
and they send pulses out and people actually have religious experiences. They think like they're with God and have visions and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it just shows that this frequency or these frequencies can have psychological effects on people. It just
Yeah.
shows how much power these sounds and other things have that we don't really consider weapons or valid
Well,
forms of.
yeah. I mean, it's like I think because everything has a certain frequency associated with it, whether we're talking about radio frequencies, whether we're talking about, microwave frequencies, whatever. There's different kinds of frequencies and frequency ranges, and all physical
Mhm.
matter has a certain frequency because all matter is freaking atoms and stuff bouncing around and shaking
Yeah,
around.
everything's
And
vibrating at one time.
and
So
that's what makes things different from each other is that you've got these things resonate at different frequencies so that differentiates a rock from glass or something and a brain for that matter. And so I
yeah,
think and since the brain is a transmitter and receiver of electricity and energy and frequencies,
yeah,
then yeah, I think there's certain frequencies you can have. And I think you could probably say the same thing about spirits and stuff too, is you could say, well, they're a form of energy. They might not be physical matter, but they're a form of energy. And
and
energy
it's
is
like
nothing but free.
mediums to tune into that frequency that they can
Right.
communicate. So
Energy is frequency. And so if that's the case, then you've got you can have spiritual impacts. I mean, this is why people put on certain kind of music when they like do psychedelics and stuff like that. Like it opens up your brain and your brain resonates to certain frequencies. Different emotions have different frequencies and stuff. Like I think we have lost a lot of sight of that. When I was in college, we discussed like briefly like, oh, there's a field of science called like psychoacoustics or whatever where you learn
yeah,
about
psychoacoustics,
different frequencies and how it impacts the brain and stuff. But
like the
that
brown
was
tone.
yeah, the brown tone. There you go. And so like yeah, theoretically that
Sasquatch.
might be something you could do. Maybe if you could figure out the exact frequency of like the sphincter or whatever, then you could maybe I don't know figure out how to do that. But
How's that for riot control?
Have you heard about
Jeez.
this laser
Dude,
in the
could you
boat that makes
imagine
you throw up
stopping
and
a-
get nauseous?
could you imagine
Everybody
stopping a
just
riot
goes
with that?
home because they shit their pants.
That'd be their clothing thing. Every do the brown tone and every. Oh, I should have painted my shit my
Oh my
pants again.
god. Yeah, it's like, man, we went out to
Oops, I shit my
we went out to
pants.
protest and riot, but then I shit my pants. I had to go back home. Could you imagine, dude? No one's gonna go riot with a shitty pair of pants, you know, after they
They
shit
all
themselves.
start wearing diapers to riots.
And then, oh my god, then that would be funny because that would be just another talking point
They
of the
like,
people.
look at you guys, you're literally babies.
You guys are literally babies. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. That's perfect. Wow, they need to do that. We need to come up with this and they need to pay us. Whoever they is, the government, the police, I don't know. They need to pay us for this. Dude, that's perfect.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
I for anybody that
These
doesn't know,
top
the
ones?
brown tone is a mythical tone that makes you shit your pants.
Yeah.
I know some people didn't hear the Sasquatch episodes. They don't know. The
Oh,
brown
that's
tone
fair.
is.
Yeah, they might not know. Or the
But they've seen
South Park episode.
at
Yeah,
least.
South Park had an episode about it. That's where I
There's
learned
yeah,
about it.
South Park had it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kenny
that's where I learned
learned
about
People
it.
might not use South Park, so.
Dude, that would be the best.
Explain all these things. 'Cause we,
Yeah, it's a good point. But yeah, I think that would be hilarious. And
who knows if the government doesn't have it? They just haven't released it yet, you know?
yeah, but then like, okay, so what other impacts could you do with frequency? I mean, I think the
One of the
brown
things that
tone
they
could be a
said
real
that
thing.
One
Yeah.
of the things that they did was, have you heard about the Battle of Jericho in the Bible?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that they went around the city of Jericho for 7 days blowing their horns.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say it was a ram's horn, it's a certain frequency, a certain ram's horn, and it actually made the walls crumble.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's been shown to be used as a weapon. Sound has been shown to be used as a weapon back in the day. So some
Yeah.
people say God did it, but everybody says that they went around the thing for 7 days and blew his horn. Eventually, the gates came down, the walls came down. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Huh. I think that, man, there's so many crazy things you could do with that, and from just changing states of matter to like
yeah,
spiritual impacts of like, I mean, some sort of like spiritual healing in a sense that you get
I mean, you
to.
could do large, like blowing the walls. Have you seen that bridge that they built? It was like, I forget where it was, but it had the wind
Oh,
blew over at a certain
yeah.
frequency and it made it ripple so much that
Yeah.
it actually collapsed.
I saw that. Yeah, isn't there
So you
video
do
of that
to
freak?
any kind of
Isn't there
big-
video of that
Let's say you
bridge?
take find the frequency of like the Golden Gate Bridge, you can make that
Yeah.
collapse just by blowing a certain thing at it.
Yeah, because I remember seeing like some video or something of that bridge, and that bridge is just like flopping
just
around,
waving.
waving around everywhere.
Wobbling, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
And another thing they're doing is using ultrasonic levitation. Tori, can you bring that picture up?
For your picture
Like a
what?
jetpack or something?
Ultrasonic levitation.
Ultrasonic levitation. You got it.
It's on YouTube. So you see
Hmm.
they're using the to levitate objects. So that's like they said with the pyramid stones.
Are those like little speakers or something? Oh,
I
whoops,
don't
I
play it
gotta.
too long. We'll get copyright, but
Well,
I
yeah,
know.
we're showing
I'm
the
pretty sure
we're
3
showing the
seconds won't do
channel
it.
and stuff in there. I think.
Yeah.
Here, play it for just a little bit.
Natural video. If you just
vibrating.
Oh wow.
Basically, we are taking advantage of this force, manipulating ultrasonic sound waves, make them
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's crazy. Huh.
so that's an example of them using sound to make things levitate. Maybe
Yeah.
not the way we were talking about, but it's another example of that to show you the power of sound.
Well, if you've got the right frequency at the right amplitude, I think you could do. I mean,
you
just
find the
about
right object
anything.
that captures that frequency.
Yeah, whatever it is that you, because yeah, there's all sorts of frequencies. Like people just think about frequencies that we can hear, but like there's other animals that can hear completely different ranges. Yeah, other animals can hear entirely different ranges of frequencies, and not just that, but like everything else.
Well,
is
they say like
impacted by it, too.
elephants communicate almost all in ultra low frequency that we can't even hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
You heard me right.
There's that bridge.
Oh. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that right there, in and of itself, I think is good evidence of the whole rock thing that we were talking about earlier, of
Yeah.
like molding and shaping like rocks and materials and stuff.
Yeah, you find the right frequency for the right object, you can pretty much do whatever you want to it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that stuff. I'm super fascinated by that. Okay, if you could do anything with this type of power or technology, or let's say you had a superpower where you can generate frequencies like with your hands or
Like a
whatever.
banshee.
Yeah. Like what would you do?
I'd probably do like Banshee does. Have you seen that? Flies around, uses it to fly, and then he uses it to like destroy things with his voice. The X-Men.
What would you destroy?
I can't hear
Yeah.
you.
You what?
I make a crowd of people shit their pants.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't even know. Like, what? Okay, this might be kind of a cool thing. What if instead of making everybody shit their pants, what if you gave everybody like a freaking euphoric, just like
Migraines.
magical experience,
Oh,
and you became a cult leader?
make them all see God.
Well, like you could be a cult leader or something and be like, look, I can make you freaking, I'm going to give you all the best day of your life or whatever and make you all
Yeah.
ridiculously happy and all this stuff. And then I'm going to use Chat GPT to come up with a whole like backstory of my cult. And then there you go.
Yeah.
Now I'm a cult leader and I can influence people's minds with frequencies. Dude, you could totally do that. What if you've got like your little compound and you're out in the freaking forest or whatever, and you've got your intercom system set up in your tent or whatever you got, and then you just play this frequency that nobody can hear, or maybe you play it in addition to playing some kind of music or something, and then
Yeah, train 'em like you do with a dog,
yeah,
you know,
you
give it
give your
frequency.
little thing, you give your little speech, have ChatGPT write it up, and go up there last minute, do your
Play
little
a little
speech,
song, make
and
them have
then
an orgasm or whatever. And
yeah.
You know what?
like, yeah,
It
it's a good
sounds to
day.
me.
Good day.
It sounds
this
to
cult.
me like Tyson really wants to start a cult.
Yeah, maybe we're thinking about this whole podcast thing wrong. Maybe we gotta start a cult or something.
How do you, you
Full-grown
gotta figure out the brown tone
cult.
and the orgasm
Yeah.
tone.
Full-grown pizza cults.
Full
What do you
grown
call it?
cult.
What do you call the orgasm tone? The white tone? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the cream
dude.
tone.
Oh, dude, that would be You would
Just
be
make a whole crowd cream their jeans.
okay, but okay. But think about it like this: like if you did have a superpower that involved you creating frequencies, like with your hands and stuff, like instead of projecting it, what if you just like made your hand and your fingers like vibrate at that frequency, and then as you're touching somebody, you could like do all sorts of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
you
What if you
could-
do it so you change your frequency so you can like go through their body and like grab their heart and just pull it out?
That's not what I was talking
Yeah, like the
about
Flash.
at all. But wow. That was
I wanted
graphic.
to-
Mike took it to a dark place. He was talking about giving people orgasms,
I was-
and Mike was like,
I was
"Kill
talking
him."
about something completely different, and then you were like, "Yeah, what if you could murder
But you
someone?"
can do like I hear what you're saying, like heal the body, stuff like that, like using, like take out tumors and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that
It's like,
too.
sure, you
Yeah,
could heal them, but what about fucking murder?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just an example. You can take other things out of the body too.
You know, what if you could stop their heart? Oh my
I
god.
didn't say
yeah.
stop it.
No, you
Yeah,
said
he
rip
said
it out
pull
of
it
their
out of their
chest.
body. That
You
kind of
like,
stops them.
take it so you can actually go through things. You can go through walls.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But if you
I do
use
like the go through
frequencies
walls
to like
thing.
kill dead, kill mutated cells or
That's what I was
dead
thinking.
cells.
Is like, yeah,
Yeah,
what if
get
there's
tumors and
cancerous
stuff out.
cells and you can vibrate?
Or you can put
certain
bones back together.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that
If you
would
can
be cool.
melt fucking
That'd be
dude, if you
cool.
can melt stone, you can melt people's fucking bones.
Yeah, you could
Sounds
like fuse
horrible.
a bone back together.
Yeah,
That would.
if
Do you think that would hurt if a doctor was like trying to do that? That would probably hurt, right? With your
I'm pretty
bone
sure
like
anything
going
you do with the body usually hurts.
with your bone liquefying inside of you. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure like pulling their heart out of their chest through vibrations would hurt too.
I mean,
but
yeah.
on that subject, they did use crystals to like heal the body, and that's still used somewhat today, and that's something that we consider hippie and far out, but it actually seems to work.
Well,
I mean, like Tori has
Well,
that
that's the
thing that
thing, like-
that gives him helps him give him dreams. It probably helps him be in
Yeah.
REM sleep, which is like a state of sleep you want to stay in. A lot of people can't get to
Yeah.
that. 'Cause of
Yeah, like several nights I have actually like just went to sleep and just woke up with the sun coming up. It's just like, whoa. No feeling like rolling over, no like tossing and turning randomly in the middle of the night. Just solid sleep through the whole entire night. But it has to be like because like sometimes they like play like an audio or like a commercial during the thing, and it stops the playing of it, or like it asks me if
Well,
I'm
that
still
sucks.
listening and it stops the playing of it. But it
Yeah.
has to be the ones that let us play constantly throughout the whole entire night. I gotta wake up with it still going on. That's
Did I tell you when I
usually
tried to do
the
that?
whole entire
Sure got really mad and started barking and she wouldn't let me play it anymore.
time.
Sorry, my mic is like being weird again. But yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
she didn't like it at all.
That sounds like sure. Well, I guess you can try it when she's out in her cages.
Yeah, when I
She
get
lives
her in
outside.
her dog pen, she can start listening to it. But like that stuff, you
Yeah.
know, you get the right frequency, and it can help heal your body and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can help you
Like,
sleep or help relax you,
You could also cause a lot of
I
damage,
don't know if it's
though,
like,
I feel like, too.
yeah, it can cause a lot of damage too, like taking out your heart.
Yeah, but you're like putting your trust in the frequency.
Well, because
like,
what do you think the
'cause, like-
frequency difference between, like, a cancer cell and, like, a regular, like, tissue cell?
That's a good point. Maybe
is-
you could actually detect cancer like that.
Yeah, maybe you could use it as a detection thing, but you'd have to be so specific because in the experimentation of this, like when you're trying to find the frequency of a cancer cell, you're going to be operating in a very narrow frequency range, I feel like, compared to the
Yeah.
other cells in the body. And so in the pursuit of trying to discover this cancer cell frequency, you're going to be manipulating and destroying and resonating all these other
you're just using it for
frequencies.
detection. So you're like listening to a symphony and trying to hear the violins out of tune. So
You'd have to like surgically remove a cancerous tumor or something, and then maybe test on that
yeah,
for the brief period that the cells are still alive and functional and operating or whatever.
I mean, if you got like a baseline and then you got like a cancer patient and compare the two,
Yeah.
you'd have to have really sensitive microphones.
You'd have to do lots of testing. You'd have to do lots. You'd have to have some
It's
kind of like
dogs can
acoustical
pick up on
wave,
cancer.
acoustic wave, like
Yeah, dogs can
gun
smell
thing.
cancer.
yeah.
Maybe cats can hear cancer. They have really sensitive hearing.
Well, so like you've got.
Maybe they can. Like you probably could see it, but they're assholes, so they won't tell you.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll use body when he's dead.
There's like that one thing is like humans have stripes, but we can't see it because they're basically the same color to us. But cats can actually see our stripes. Do my
That's-
stripes look cool? I don't have a dick stripe, do I? Shut up, cat.
Yep, you have a stripe on your dick. Heh.
What? Wait! Stop looking at my dick, kitty cat! Stop whipping it out.
Yeah, the cat. Well, I mean, you asked for it.
So what do you guys think? What's your analysis of my sound theory that ancient people knew a lot more about sound than we do today?
I'll go first. I think there's strong scientific like reasoning and all that stuff, evidence behind it because we know how frequencies can interact with other things. I also think that it's possible because they didn't have as much stuff to do and as much stuff to work with. They didn't have as much technology and stuff, so they're going to use what they have around them. So I think that they could have figured something like this out. My thing is like, okay, what about the storage and the production of these frequencies? That's my thing, because like today we have big giant speakers. If we had a big giant speaker playing a sound at a certain frequency, sure, you could probably take down a building or something. But these guys, they didn't have speakers and they don't have anything. And now, so then that gets into the whole crystal thing, and then okay, well that's just kind of a theory. Like I don't know if crystals can do that or not. And
Well, like archaeoacoustics,
yeah. So
I
I don't know.
wonder if
I
there's,
think
like-
there's a lot to it, but it just kind of depends.
Well, there's like a frequency that like kind of produces like maybe like happiness or what's that word I'm looking for?
Euphoria?
Not euphoria, but like you're like easily subjugated. Like
Oh, kind of like the
you know, you're just go with the flow. It's like, all right, this is happening. I might as well do it. But you imagine those like towers that look like
Yeah.
trees or are supposed to look like trees are actually producing this thing out, and they're just keeping everybody down and not fucking going, not
Yeah.
being really aware of what they're doing and stuff. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Like it's like kind of like,
Just a
but yeah.
Well, maybe that's partially why people get
It
more
keeps the
relaxed.
masses at
Yeah.
down. It keeps the people
Oh,
from
pacify?
rising up. Pacify, yes.
Pacify,
Keeps
yeah.
us passive. It's like those towers that look like trees. They kind of look like they're fucking like they have like the things for like the Wi-Fi or whatever. But what if it's like producing frequencies?
Like an ultra
And
low
just like
frequency
everybody around
and
us.
making everybody more passive.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
That's a
Fucking
good
like
idea too. Yeah. What if we had
like 1984 type thing.
what
Yeah,
if we
that's why
had
they made
like big
Wi-Fi so popular,
towers
because
in
it's
all the
actually
major
doing
cities that just like
That's why they
produced
started
a
putting up the
frequency?
5G towers.
Oh my god, 5G. That's what's
5G's
doing
pacifying frequency.
Yes.
That's why it sucks. It
It's the
doesn't really
government
work.
controlling our minds. Okay, we have reached 46 minutes at that point, but I think we can maybe end on 5G. Whatever you got, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us your theories
I didn't
about
really
5G
give my
in the
opinion of it. I was just
comments,
like, what if they did this?
You're
What if we
like,
did this
I
and made a
mean,
cult?
What if
There's not a
what
lot
if
of,
5G
lot of
is
long-term studies done on 5G. Who knows what it's actually doing to your body?
right? Well, it's like,
I mean,
yeah, the
these
thing with
people seem to go into
5G
your
is it's
body all
like
the time. We don't really know what they're doing either. So.
5G is definitely faster and like more powerful and stuff than 4G, but it doesn't have as much of a range as 4G. That's why
Did you guys see that
nowadays-
video I sent of how they are like fully optimizing the fucking fiber optics
Yeah,
to
that's crazy.
increase the
I don't know
internet?
how to activate that.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Yeah,
I'll have to
I
resend
want that fucking now.
I thought
Tyson
that was
needs
Bill
it.
Gates'
His
stuff.
internet was fucking retarded last day.
Yeah, what the hell? My internet was terrible last night. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, okay, if you're watching this, thanks for watching, and let us know in the comments
Like
your
and
theories
subscribe.
about. Yep, do the like and subscribe.
I am watching it. I'm the only viewer. Yes.
Okay, this is for you then.
I already
for-
did like it. Oh, I'll like it. Here you go.
Like it, subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we got a like. Oh my god, we got a like. I'm looking at the dashboard. We did it.
Oh my god! It was the cat. She stepped on the
Our
keyboard.
first
Damn it,
fan.
cat!
Your cat. Okay. Let us
So,
know in
I
the
like the
comments
thing
what
where
you
you
guys
talked about
think.
me seeing dicks.
Yeah, what's your favorite part of the podcast? What do you guys think about ancient dick pics and sound theory and 5G and
Yes.
all
Comment
that
with
stuff?
ancient dick pic.
What
if you
what would
made
your
it
cult
through
be
this
called if
entire
you made
episode.
one? Yeah, if you made a cult, what would it be called? What would give us the backstory on your cult? And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. So,
You can name
okay.
your
What
cult.
do we? God, we really need like an outro. We need a better outro.
Yeah. Hey, bye.
Okay, we're done.